Hey everybody, so I'm making a video today based off of a comment, really a question from Nestor Fernandez. Thank you so much, Nestor, for commenting on videos and stuff. And so Nestor had asked if I had any thoughts about the tune Jordu. It's a Duke Jordan tune, and I actually do. I figured I would share some thoughts here. I do not play the tune Jordu. It's a beautiful tune. It's great. Very, very difficult. But let me tell you my experience, my history with this tune. When I was in high school, and I was either a freshman or a sophomore, having to audition for my high school jazz band, this was the audition song. My jazz band director wanted people to learn, and we were to play the melody and then improvise on it. And I had absolutely no idea what to do. Honestly, nobody did. But I think this was my director's way of kind of sifting out people. But here's the tune. Let me play through the head of the tune, and I'm reading it because I don't know this. I don't know this tune well enough. All right, so there's the tune. As you can tell, a lot of notes. The bridge specifically is very difficult, but we'll get to that. So thoughts about improvising over this tune. The lead sheet is next to me. So if you notice what key the tune is, I'm gonna talk, and I'm really sorry if I make mistakes going back and forth between concert pitch and mine, but the concert pitch, the concert key of this tune is in concert C. Concert C minor. Concert C minor. So, the beginning, the first two measures, you have the pickup, those two measures are in C minor. Even though it's a 2-5, D7, G7, C, it's still C minor. Now, the odd thing, what makes this tune so difficult is the amount of secondary dominance. D7 is not in the key of C minor. What should be there would be a D minor 7 flat 5, but instead it's this. So now, while you could play over those changes, and sounds great, and I would do that some. Let's get to a very basic point, though, of this. In this minor tune, the blues scale for these first two measures and over the C minor section works great. So I would do, here's 3 ideas on the A section. So the tune is AABA, it's a 32-bar song form. On this A section, it starts in C minor. So those two measures, I would just use a C blues scale. For tenor, it would be a D blues scale. Now, that blues scale would be this. 1, flat 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, flat 7, 1. Now, if you look at the melody, the F sharp in the melody is the sharp 4 in the blues scale. So that's why the blues scale is going to work. So let me play the first couple of bars, and I'm just going to use the blues scale over the C minor. I'll do it again. All I'm doing are using these notes. So over those first two measures, I would do a blues scale. C blues scale for tenor, D blues scale. Now, what's the second idea in the A section? Well, there's a F7 to B flat 7 to E flat major. Okay, well now I'm going to the relative major. The key signature is 3 flats. That's for E flat major. So now I'm going to the major key here. But the F7 appears because look at the melody note. A natural. But in essence, don't worry about the F7 to B flat. This really is just a 5 to 1. A B flat 7 going to an E flat. B flat 7 going to E flat major. So I just think 5-1, and I'll do a pattern there. So let me show you what I mean from the beginning. Now let me do the first 4 bars. So all I did was a bebop scale there, starting on the B flat, or C for tenor. Do it one more time. So there I did like a 2-5 pattern, but going to E flat major, or for tenor, F major. Okay, what happens in the next 2 bars of the A section? Well, we're back to the minor idea, blues scale. Now, here's my third and last idea on this A section. We've got an A flat 7. That's a flat 6. Flat 6, so if I'm in C, minor, 7, flat 6. The A flat is a flat 6 compared to the key of C. So what do I do on that? Well, it's got a natural 9. This is a common progression, by the way, flat 6 to 5. Because what is flat 6 a substitute for? Well, it's a tritone sub to the 2 chord, D. A flat's a tritone away from D. So really that would be D to G, but instead, A flat to G7, okay, A flat. So what do I do there? Well, I would do the first use of the, quote, jazz minor. Remember, the jazz minor is a melodic minor ascending. And what I would do is, I would go to the 5th degree of this, which is, if the root is A flat, I would go up 5, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, and I would use that jazz minor, which for tenor is an F jazz minor, F melodic minor ascending. So let me do this whole thing, and then G7, I would probably play some type of B to get back to, for tenor would be a C sharp, but I would, 5 to 1 to get back to C minor, or for tenor D minor. So let me go from the beginning. I'm going to use these 3 devices on the A section. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. And that would be the A, using 3 devices, which, by the way, was awful in the first chord. I don't know what happened. Anyway, now, the B section is really where all of this difficulty in this tune comes in, because honestly, the A section, that's pretty standard. Minor, going to the relative major, going back to the minor, flat 6 dominant to 5 back. That's pretty normal progression. But now we've got this string of secondary dominants, which are really just strings of 2 5s at letter B. So we've got G to C, F to B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. And we kind of rest there, and then we start it again, starting on F. And then a G7 to get back to that C minor idea. Okay, so now what are we doing? Well, I gave you 3 different patterns that I think progress pretty nicely through this. If you listen to the recording of Clifford Brown and his group doing this, unfortunately, well, you just can't get away from patterns when you have this type of progression, at least in the initial stages. And when you listen to a recording, Clifford Brown is playing patterns over this B section. And then everybody else who solos does the same kind of deal. They're playing patterns. So let me give you a pattern that's really important to know. The 7, flat 7 of the first chord, so G7 would be F is the flat 7, falling to 3 of the C chord, which is E. So F to E. Notice the chromatic movement here. F natural, that's the flat 7 of G7, falling to E, the third of the C7. Then I do the same pattern, but over F7 to B flat. Same pattern, E flat to A flat. Then down to the flat 7. Then I do that same pattern again. Started on the F7 though. Then I'm back to the third of the G7. So now that in time, this is what this sounds like. Remember, here's the bridge. So here's this pattern. 1, 2, 3, and. Okay, doesn't sound real exciting, but you need to have that sound in your ear because that's really the sound of the chords. Oh, sorry. So this 7 to 3 really dictates what the chord quality is. Now from there, now I can add this little enclosure type line. Flat 7, 5, sharp 5, 6, which actually the 6 is the 3, right? So this really is the note, but ba-da-da-da. So now check this out. Instead of now I'm going to do this. And then again in the next keys, start on F7. Okay, so that's the second pattern. So I've got the 7 to 3 first, then I extend it. Now, here's a really cliche pattern, and I've played this before in other videos, but if I go to here are the numbers on each chord. 3, 5, 1, flat 7. I do that for each chord. So the G7, I'm going to do B, D, G, F natural. And then I'm going to do the same pattern over the C7. E, G, C, B flat. So now I'm going to get this string of sounds. Sorry. So in real time, remember the melody. Ba 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 da be da ba lo da. So if I do this line, 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. So there you go, 3 ideas on the bridge. Now, if I put all this together, let me play all of this together in one chorus, and I'll purposely put these in. And again, what am I doing? What's the point of this? The compelling why. What I'm doing is I'm trying to play right notes, so I'm not scuffling. Okay, so I've broken up certain sections. I'm going to play material that I know works in those sections. Now, when I get to the bridge, a lot of scuffling can happen if we're just trying to go for it without the idea of this 7, 3, or ba-da-da-da. That idea, okay? Because that sound is really what I need to hear over these string of secondary dominants. All right, here's the tune. And I'll try not to do it. I'm not going to do it fast. I'll take the pickup. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there we go at the end, just blowing a little bit over that. Now, again, the bridge is difficult. I was scuffling even there. So having patterns that you can come back to, great way to learn this bridge. Yeah, and I would need to shed this. I mean, you can tell, like, this is not close to being learned by me, right? So this is what I would do. Here would be my process. I would give myself a couple of lines, and I would pound these lines in. Just really work these lines until they are just second nature, and not only second nature in my ear, but muscle memory under my fingers. So there you go. There's Jordu. Very difficult tune, but great tune, and I want to work on it. Thank you, Nestor Fernandez, for reminding me of this tune. And good luck, everybody, on working on it. If you're going to work on it, here are some ideas. So I hope this helps. Hey, enjoy the bell. I got to go. Hope it helps.